Hey there, are you looking at the market, Roseville, Sacramento, Folsom, and the surrounding areas? We would love to share some information with you about these areas, about the market, and talk to you about what is really most important when you're out there looking for a house. Let's get into it right now. Hey, I'm Gary Meek with the Living in Sacramento team, and we are sharing some information with you. It is now August, the middle of August, and the market is kind of in a weird place. People are asking questions. They want to know, is the market going to crash? I'm going to give you some data today. It's going to tell you what the market should be doing, what it is doing, and why a lot of information out there just isn't the truth. So let's talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, right now, we are at the lowest amount of default since the 1970s. That means people are not losing their houses. People are not upside down in their mortgages. People are not strapped for cash. They are not house poor would be another term for it. People are in a good place. They've got 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5% interest rates, and that is fantastic. It is something that they can afford. They can make their monthly bills, and they're not upside down. They're not, struggling every single month. So that's what the very first thing I want to talk to you guys about is we are not in a default market. The second thing is interest rates are high. Well, 7%-ish what today is. I'm not a mortgage person. I'm not quoting anything specific. I'm just saying they're in that range, 7-ish. Well, that's nothing compared to the 1980s when stuff was 18, 19, and 20%. So we have to be thankful that we're not at that rate now. So a couple things you should be looking at. What about your payment? That really is the biggest issue. So someone buys a $500,000 house and they're getting a 7% interest rate. There is a set dollar figure that is. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, buy it at now because there's not a lot of houses out there. There's not a lot of inventory. So buy it now and then, hey, suck it up for a year. Maybe we'll do a rate buy down, get you a little bit lower rate, maybe a 5% for this year, a 6% next year, and a 7% the following year. And then it will level out at that 7%. Now, that's not a bad strategy. It helps you to get into the house and have a little bit less payment the first year, 2 years, a little bit upfront. But in today's market, sometimes you can get the seller to pay for that for you. So that's a strategy that can be used now. But another thing that can be happening is new homes. New homes have inventory. They have properties for sale. And you know what? Builders don't want to drop their prices. So you know what they do? They offer you a better interest rate. They have deals set up. If you're going into a brand new builder and you're working with a great agent that's going to help you negotiate, they're going to be able to get that rate down. You might say, well, I want to do an upgrade here. I want a backyard, whatever. In the long run, by having the new home builder and the seller's agent, the listing agent, that's the person you walk in, they're the listing agent. They work for the seller. They want to do what they can to get you in the house and make money for the seller. That's why you need to hire an agent to represent you. So when you go in, we can say, listen, there's 5 builders in this area. There's 4 floor plans at every builder. That's 20 homes I get to choose from. And we can really help you to negotiate, whether it be upgrades, a backyard, or get that interest rate down nice and low where that payment is much more affordable for you. Or if we get the interest rate low enough, it might be able to get you that bump up in house. So instead of 2,000, you get 2,400 square feet. Maybe you get the 5th bedroom if you guys need it and you're working from home, something like that. We might be able to negotiate something like that for you if you are really trying hard to get up there. So the interest rate being lower will help you. But here's something not everybody's talking about. What about in today's market if your payment is $4,000? So you're buying a $500,000 house. Interest rates are about 7. Your payment's going to be right about $4,000, $3,900 on an FHA loan. If you do a conventional 3% down, you're probably going to be somewhere in that same range. But if you work with the right agent, you're dealing with someone that understands the marketplace, it is very possible for you to get into a home that has a lower interest rate that will save you a ton of money in your monthly payment. But that all comes down to understanding the market. The market shifts, it changes, it adjusts. It happens all the time. And people are so concerned, the market's gonna crash, it's gonna come down. We just talked about the fact that there's not a lot of defaults. So I don't see a market crash because of that. There's also not a lot of inventory. So because there's not a lot of inventory, the people that do want to buy, that have to buy, that are moving and say, listen, I need a bigger house, smaller house, whatever that is, they are making decisions to make that purchase now. So they are driving the demand for those properties. And because there's not a lot of supply, there's a lot of sellers who are sitting pretty at 3% interest rate, super low payments. So they are not taking this opportunity to sell. Therefore, there's not a lot of inventory out there for sale. So the buyers that are buying up everything that is for sale. So today in the market in Sacramento, there is less than 1 month of inventory. What does that mean? That means if no more houses came on the market and we sold at the current rate of how many houses are selling per day, per week, per month, we would be out of inventory. Everything would be sold in less than 1 month. Now, that is considered a seller's market. And why we have a seller's market, there's not gonna be a crash. There's not gonna be really anything major that happens. We also have a presidential election that's coming up here soon. It's really a year away, but it's still something that is gonna kind of have an effect on what's going on in our world. So there's all these different things that impact your purchasing power, your decision to buy, and it's not going to be the fact that the market's going to crash. Builders are still building. That is one of the key pieces that buyers and sellers really don't pay attention to. When the builders are building, that means that there are people that want those houses. I've been in the market for 20 years now. I've been a real estate broker for 20 years. And when 2006 happened, I literally drove down areas that had builders that had pads that were just sitting stagnant. They had half-built homes that just sat stagnant. They're not going to build. They're just sitting there. Well, that was 2006 and 7. Right now, everyone is building. Doesn't matter the cost of wood. They are shipping in labor to make sure that they can build those houses at a pace that works, especially here in California. People are buying. People are coming from the Bay Area. Every once in a while, someone comes from outside the state into California, but a lot of times people are leaving California outside the state. So that's another thing. Even with us losing population in California, people are still buying and selling. So therefore, there is not going to be a market crash. Little bit of a correction. Yes, the rates have definitely stemmed down the purchasing power, and that definitely affects things. But like I said, there are ways to get around that. If you are really seriously interested in buying in this market, you're interested in getting a great rate, you're interested in finding the perfect property, we can help you. Take a look at what we're doing, listen to our other videos, watch our other videos, and then reach out to us, ask how we can help you with assumable mortgages, rehab loans, investment property. We work with a special project within the city, and we have tons and tons of fixers that are coming up. So lots of opportunity in this marketplace. And if you want to know how to be in front of it, make sure you're getting a good deal on a house, getting a great interest rate, and being able to be in a house and not be house poor, we can help you out. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.